back to what Stevie said, Ekatiki, I will play him. Why would I play him? Because clearly before Saka came, he was doing really well. This was a kid that came new to a club and started to perform from the get-go, scoring goals and delivering for Liverpool. Now he's got to come on, start him. And then it comes to Salah comes the question, you understand? How long are you going to wait? You got to have the conversation with him. Tell him straight up. You say, look, at the moment the team is not in a comfortable situation. So we maybe have to do a little bit more work than we normally do. And that comes to, we have to make it tighter because Liverpool was used to spreading the game wide open. We understand the guys in the middle of the park, it was easy for them. It doesn't happen that anymore. And one of the key things, the left back, okay, the question comes there on the left-hand side. Tsimikas, he's very good in going forward, but the problem is that people take him on. And people don't, he has not earned the respect of opponents that play against him. They will go at him. And he needs to win that battle first. And that's why I understand what Stevie said. He put Bradley there because you don't want to be a fullback and people just feel like they have free entry going at you, dribbling at you, taking you on. And clearly, you know what is the key thing? When you see a defender being taken on and someone dribbles past you on the outside, that's trouble. And that's why I think his confidence is a little bit down.
Mario, did you notice in the game yesterday there seemed to be between Van Dijk and Tsimikas like a lot of back and forth talking, right? Specifically from Van Dijk. We talked about it on the show yesterday. Yeah. I think you specifically said, Stevie, you didn't like it. Mario, what do you think of that dynamic and, beyond that, kind of what Tsimikas can do to be the $50 million guy that they thought they brought in?
The key thing is for making it more comfortable for Van Dijk. The question becomes now, look, when Van Dijk's got to do a lot of more things, look, you're the leader of the team. So I expect you, of course, to do more work for the new guys when they come in. But there is a duration of it, right? You have, you got to also feel as a leader that the guy next to you is getting better. But if I got to keep pointing you certain points, I started also playing less effective myself because now I got to worry about not only myself, I also got to worry about you because you're not giving me what I need. So I think that is the question where one of the key things is one thing I don't like, that is, it doesn't matter who you are. I don't like my captain to go out in the blue. He knows that there is so many. Don't waste too much time to put it in the open. Do it in the dressing room because he's gonna, the way he went at him, you understand, when he tried to flick the ball and it kind of hit him in his face or his hand or whatever happened, and he then had to go at him and say like, you have to talk, he said to him. Speak. I understand you have to speak, but when Van Dijk, you understand, also after the game I saw him talking, the moment when Van Dijk started to explain too many details, there's something wrong with him. Because he does it in Holland too. When he goes into the details, he gives too much away. I know that he's then worried about other things than only what happened in the game.
Yeah. Can I just
go ahead?
Touch on that specific circumstance? And we're talking about Van Dijk being the leader of Liverpool. And this team right now, if there was ever a time that it needed leadership, this is it. Right? This is the moment. Struggling, you need a leader. And your leader is struggling as well. And in that specific circumstance, he misclears the ball, doesn't make the contact that he's making. Tsimikas is trying to cover the back post. He gets hit in the face because of the deflection, the poor clearance by Virgil van Dijk. Hits him straight in the nose, and somehow, and I know Tsimikas hasn't been good, but somehow that's his fault. And what's worrisome and what's concerning to me, and really disappointing, to be honest with you, that a player Virgil van Dijk stature would do this, is that he knows full well that this stadium is looking at Tsimikas like Stevie looks at Tsimikas, like, I don't know. And then you turn to the guy that is most vulnerable and said, you got to speak, you got to talk, it's your fault. It's my fault that you hit me in the face with the ball because you miscleared it? Now, I may have all sorts of wrong things that I've done for this team if I'm Tsimikas, but this is not it. This is not the moment, and this is not the way you go about showing up a player, especially right now when what you need is everybody pulling in the same direction, not everybody saying, it's not my fault, it's him, it's the guy that got hit in the face with the ball.
I absolutely abhor that as well when a player, particularly a guy with the stature of Virgil van Dijk,
that's got to hit Tsimikas hard, right?
I think the biggest problem I have And one of the biggest reasons that I think Kerkez shouldn't start is not just because of what it's doing to the back line and to particularly Virgil van Dijk. The rest of the team don't trust Kerkez.
The fans don't. I mean, we noticed that in the match yesterday. As soon as he would get the ball, you'd hear Anfield react.
Well, you would, and then Kerkez reacts to it by panicking. And then he goes scared. And then he doesn't want to make a mistake, which is why he keeps turning back and playing an easy ball backwards. But it's not just Virgil van Dijk. Everybody in that team doesn't want to give him the ball. That is a horrible position for Kerkez, but it's a position that Arne Slot has to understand is way, way worse for the team than just the fact that Kerkez is not having a particularly good time.
Right.
The fact that Kerkez is affecting the whole team, again, is one of the reasons why you have to get him out, get somebody solid in that everybody trusts, they know what they're going to get, and then they're just playing the ball, they're not thinking about it. Right now, everybody looks up, sees Kerkez, and looks somewhere else first. And by that time, it means teams like United, or whoever it is, can get into a defensive posture quickly.
Yeah.
Mario, straight up, what would you do here? I mean, you've been in this position. Would you bench Kerkez, or would you let him try to play through it?
I have to take him out. Because if not, you understand, you also have to think about the mental strength and the confidence of the player. Because you don't want to break him all the way. And you don't want to get him into a position where you might need him later on. So what I would do, you understand, make him build again. Because all the new players, they got a chance. And that's what you expect. When you pay that much money for me, I expect you to start me straight away. But if I don't perform to the certain standard, you got to rebuild them. So I will take him out because it's not affecting the team, and play maybe with a more defensive mind, because this team at the moment need that anyway. So play more defensive mind, lock everything up and keep them more compact, and stop with making it so wide open, because if not, people are going to come at you. And we're talking about Liverpool now. Let's not make it like it's already a drama and we're in a big, no, but he just needs to tweak it, and he needs to tweak it now. And if he waits too long, it becomes a problem. And he has the skills to do that, Slot. So it's not like I'm talking about someone that I don't expect. He can fix it, but I don't want him to wait too long.
Kerkez is an easy target, and I think that's an easy decision. The tough decision is Mohamed Salah. And I must say, Stevie, in that play, which it was about the 19th or 20th minute, where he actually came to the inside, received the ball on the turn, and then found Cody Gakpo. Cody Gakpo cuts to the inside and hits the post. I'm thinking, oh,
he's back.
That's encouraging.
Yep.
Because he's no longer just parked on the right-hand side, he actually came in a central position, which is the one dot that's on the central position in this particular graphic. And then he went back to the right-hand side and just parked himself over there and became silent. So silent, so passive in his game, so lacking any sort of aggression in his game. And aggression is not, hey, I'm going to go kick somebody. Aggression in terms of I'm going to receive the ball and do something that makes a difference for my team, a game-changing moment. And I suppose the moment that we all have in our minds from the game is when the ball drops to him at the back post. It is on his left foot, and he just takes a wild swing at it and goes absolutely, completely, horribly wrong for Liverpool. And then at that point, you go, whatever optimism I had from the 20th minute in him finding a central position and actually finding a through ball, all of that has disappeared, because this that I saw in the midst of the back post is what we're seeing a lot of. And this lack of aggression and this passive nature to his game, in which he is on the fringes of the game rather than being a central figure of the game for Liverpool. To the point to where Arne Slot said, I had enough, we're losing, and I have to take you off. That is a message that needs to get to Mohamed Salah. He needs to now internalize the information. While I agree that we're pushing, it's getting to that moment, but maybe we're not quite there just yet, Stevie. We're closer than ever. And he needs to find it within himself that to see more of the moments that we saw in the 20th minute rather than the rest of the match.
I think for the first time ever during this game, the previous, 9, 10 seasons, when Salah got it, you did that. I think for the first time ever against United, whenever he got it, I was thinking, what's going to happen now? I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing how you can go from the top of the tree and slide all the way down it so quickly. It's incredible. It's a lesson to us all.
Can we go big picture here?
Yeah,
Sure.
Go ahead, Mario, quickly.
You know why Stevie also said that? Because Stevie, when he gets on the ball, you don't expect him to dribble because he's not that guy anymore that's going to dribble. Back in the days, he was running with the ball, taking people on. And then, if he's not close to the goal, we don't expect him to do that 30 yards sprint and doing something incredible. We expect Salah around the box. Last season, danger. Now, it looks like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I hope because it just shut down too quickly in too quick of a period because last season and now it's only a short break. It was 2 months difference or 1 month different. It cannot be dropping like that so fast.
Right, I wanted to go big picture because something you said at the very beginning of the show yesterday, I think, caught all of our ears. You said Liverpool has no chance to win the title. Now, when we got to extra time, you had cooled off a little bit, you had changed your tune. I think maybe you'd realize how early in the campaign it was. But as we look at the Premier League title odds, there you see Liverpool right now, third favorites according to the bookmakers. Why that change of heart over that hour? And in your cooling off, what did you discover there?
Well, because at the time, I was frustrated, disappointed. Sometimes it's hard to look at the big picture. When you see performances like that, it's hard to. You try to figure how they get out it, and then you start thinking about, well, the 4 points behind now. There's no reason to think they're going to get out it because they've done nothing since the start of the season that's actually, in terms of the big picture, been any different than what we got against United. It just so happened that individual quality that we know they've got had bailed them out on so many occasions. So that's why I dived in and said that. Now, let's look at PSG this time last year. They couldn't win a game, particularly in the Champions League, to save their lives. They had quality. They just didn't quite understand everybody's role yet. They didn't understand the connections weren't there. And all of a sudden, look at them now. So it kind of tells you, cool your jets. When you have that type of ability, it can change as quickly as it went the wrong way. And so I don't disagree with the bookies. I think right now Liverpool have so many things to improve on that the longer they go not winning games, they might get too far behind. So they have to change it very quickly. Otherwise, this Arsenal side in particular look really strong and they give nothing away.